right, it's 6:15, so we're going to call this meeting of the Madison Local School Board to order. We're going to bypass the Pledge of Allegiance since we already did that, and we're going to move right on to B, roll call of members.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
Here.
Mrs. Cotterman.
Here.
Mr. Mosier.
Here.
Miss Amy Walker.
Here.
Mr. Porter.
Here.
And then I need a motion for item C, the adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Mosier.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Mr. Porter.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4. Next up, item D, can I get a motion to approve the previous board meeting minutes?
So moved.
I'll second.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Mr. Porter.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4. And then we're on to item E, presentation of certificates.
Okay.
So January is School Board Recognition Month. So I'd like to just take a few moments at this time to thank each of our Board of Education members for their commitment to our students and to the Madison community. As a Board of Education member, you provide leadership, you provide vision, you provide support, and you dedicate your time and energy to the Madison Local School District. You play a crucial role in the education of our students and help make Madison a special place. Thank you again for all that you do for the Madison school community. And if you would join me in a round of applause for our school board members. I have certificates of appreciation here for each of them. So Mr. Adam Porter, in your first year.
15 minutes. 17 minutes. Yeah.
Mary Cotterman, as she enters her 5th year on the board. Melissa Walker, as she enters her 7th year on the board. Doug Mosier, also his 7th year on the board, coming up. And Amy Walker, her 13th year. Thank you, guys. Next, we have some presentations to make to some of our teaching staff. This recognition is based on the value added rating and the growth index that they received based on last year's student test scores, and essentially it demonstrates that their students made more growth than expected on those Ohio State tests last school year. So I'd like to recognize at this time those individuals, and we will start with the high school. So Mr. Grove, if you would come forward and present. I don't think Kim Boehm is here tonight, but Kim, in American government for the 2nd consecutive year, got the highest rating as far as the growth index goes. And Mr. Matt Wade, also his 2nd consecutive year in American government, showing more growth than what was expected. Congratulations. Next, we'll have the middle school, so if Mr. Nelson would come forward. And we have Kristen Agee, 6th grade ELA.
Sure.
Wendy Caperton, 5th grade science. Judy Richardson, 7th grade math. Krista Shutt, 8th grade math for the 2nd consecutive year. They're probably at home putting together lesson plans right now. Goldie Spencer for the 3rd consecutive year, 5th grade science. Troy Stimpert, 5th grade math for the 3rd consecutive year. And Mr. Stimpert also had the highest growth index in the district for last year's scores. Megan Studer, 5th grade ELA. Zinda Thomas, 8th grade science. Christine Vermillion, 5th grade science. And Sarah Weiser, 3rd consecutive year for 8th grade math. And if Mr. Stump would come forward, we have one recipient from Mifflin. And that is Dane Henry, 4th grade math. And Mrs. Cox, if you would come forward for a couple of Madison South recipients. 4th grade math, Valerie Barnhart. And also in 4th grade math, Melissa Vetter. Could we have one round of applause for all of our teachers?
All right, next up is item F, recognition of visitors. Do we have anyone who would like to address the board? Okay, and then we have administrative committee reports. First is legislative, and there's no report for that one. Athletic Board of Control.
We met on December 18th. We discussed the end of fall season information and approved budgets for fall 2026 sports. There's reports available if anybody would like to look at them.
Okay, thank you. Student representatives' comments. Is she here this evening? He? Okay.
It's got a substitute.
Hi, I'm Cameron Porter, filling in for Courtney Cyrus. She's busy today. I am the treasurer for NHS here at the high school. Sheer report, boys basketball. Boys currently record is 2-7 with an exciting game coming up this Friday at home versus Worcester. They also play on Saturday at Ontario. Girls basketball, the girls are having a successful season with their current record being 7-6. They're playing home tonight against Lexington and Saturday against West Holmes. Cheerleading, the girls have been hard at work learning extending stunts and new crowd cheers to get the fans excited. Swim, both boys and girls have had a very exciting season with many new PRs and goals being met. Their next meet is tomorrow at home versus Orville. And NHS, the society is coming up with all new kinds of ways to get students involved in the community, such as tutoring, spearheading student events, and volunteering in their own neighborhoods. All grades have just had their class meetings with reminders being told about phone usage. The students and teachers are adjusting well to the new policy. That's it.
Thank you. Facilities.
Just a quick update in regards to the Madison Middle School boiler project there. Last month we discussed that it was an emergency service, that we didn't need to go out to bid on this project. We have the boilers on order. I know tonight, formality-wise, we're approving the budget for that. The boilers are about 4 weeks out right now. Unfortunately, the one that was available out of Michigan was no longer available at the time of purchase. So there's about a 4-week turnaround now, and probably about a 6-week total project time. That's to get the one up and running first. Once that one's up and running, we'll continue on to the second one. But as of right now, everything's running fine. There is backups as well built into our system as far as strip heat, things of that nature. It's not something that we want to run being all electric. But as soon as we get these boilers in, we'll go from there. Hopefully have another update for you at the end of next month's board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. And then board policy, I don't think we have a report. Student achievement?
So the students haven't really been in much since our last board meeting, so we only have one update from Eastview. And it's just that they're gearing up for the mid-year iReady diagnostics, and student council students will be leading a pep rally to remind students of the importance of doing their best on the tests. And that's it.
Thank you. And finance?
Haven't met yet.
That is
Brand new
brand new.
committee.
Superintendent's update.
So Friday will be the end of the second grading period, so we'll be halfway through the school year at that point. I do want to, I really enjoyed the presentation of the certificates. Very enjoyable part of the agenda. This is the less than enjoyable part. Is I'm going to update you on the reduction in force and where we're at with that. The reduction in force on the teacher side has started. It was initiated today, and I think that will be kind of a lengthy process. We have to go through two processes to get that complete. As far as the process for the non-teaching staff, we intend to start that on Monday. As far as total number of employees, and this is just Madison employees, this would not count some of the reductions that we intend to make for contracted services, such as a nurse and mental health counseling and things like that. But it would be a total of 37 and a half Madison employee positions cut. With that, due to currently having some of those positions manned by long-term substitutes, having retirements, resignations, and some other things, I am hopeful that the number of employees who could potentially lose a job would be reduced from that 37 and a half number down to 20. I know that that's still a large number, and I don't want to make light of it, but we will be able to have some people find positions. The projected savings in doing so, with all the different reductions and cost savings, which would also include the closure of Mifflin and the savings from just closing the building. Total savings about slightly over $3.2 million. And for just the general fund, it'd be just under $3.1 million. And again, I say that hesitantly because that's projected savings. We won't know that for sure until all of the RIF process and different things are done. Our target was $2.8 million so that we had at least a positive cash balance. And, with the general fund at about $3.1 million, we felt like that was an appropriate amount in the case that the $2.8 million wasn't exact. So we wanted to be careful to make sure that we did just enough to feel comfortable with having a cash balance, a positive cash balance at the end of next school year. You may have any questions?
When do you expect this to be all finalized?
I am hopeful that no later than maybe early to mid-February, everybody will know whether they'll have a position next year, and if they do, where it will be.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is presentations, and first we have our Early Childhood Learning Center Director, Lindy Hallfinger. Sorry. Is she gonna go first? That's fine. Not a problem. Madison South Preschool Coordinator, Jennifer Eckenwall then.
Yes,
Eckenwall
thank
then.
you, thank you. All right, and I can't see that very well. I went with a wintry kind of background. So just a little bit about our program. Yes, sorry. Can't see it very well. We currently have 78 center-based students, which means they attend Monday, there we go, that's better for me too. They attend Monday through Thursday, roughly 2 hours and 40 minutes, and we have AM and afternoon sessions, and we are in the process of we will have 19 itinerant students by the end of this month, so we're right at about just under 100. We're a very structured program. We like to keep things moving. Sometimes transitions for some of our students can be difficult, but we work through those kinds of things. But we have a large variety of things that we do. We do large group activities. They do get a snack. They have some large gross motor time, either in the gym or outside, some free choice. It includes art and different things like that. So preschool is very play-based. Our teaching staff, they are all certified teachers, and to be in preschool, you have to be dual licensed to be a preschool teacher as well as an intervention specialist or some kind of licensure that qualifies for that. Also in our program, one of the things we're required to do is do vision and hearing screenings. So we do those on each student throughout the year. And if anybody does have, if there are any reasons for them to be referred, we do give them paperwork about that and hope that they do go. Sometimes we have been able to get kids glasses when they've needed them. So as a result of our screenings. We are implementing a new curriculum this year called Pre-K on My Way. That's through Scholastic. It's going pretty well so far. It's pretty user-friendly, so mostly positive comments from my teachers with that, so that's good. And we do a lot of family engagement, but I have tried to make sure that we're doing at least one activity throughout each month, except January. Usually that's a big snow day time, but we've already had a lot of snow days. So, but we try to do something each time, and no, that's not, it's the next slide. Okay, some of the things that we do so that our students get to experience a different variety of different things. We have our community partners from the Bird Sanctuary. We have Miss Sarah from the library comes. They all come once a month. Mr. Peterson graciously comes and reads to our preschoolers. So they always enjoy when we get visitors. And we also have gotten visits from our community helpers, from our school resource officer, Deputy Ivy, as well as our friends from the Madison Township Fire Department. All right, here's some of our things that we've done. We've gone on a couple field trips already. Once to Gorman Nature Center, and they got to take a hike and kind of fish in the pond a little bit and find lots of little creatures. They really enjoyed that. Some got really wet, but that's okay. We've been to Honey Haven Farm, and they went through pumpkin school and a hayride and all kinds of fun stuff. A new one that I incorporated this year was our Breads of Harvest program, and that's where our students, they learned about kind of the history of Thanksgiving, the Pilgrims coming to the New World, and they got to make a loaf of bread. It's hard to see, but that top picture, it's actually my mom that does the program, but she's helping the student learn how to knead the bread, and then they got to take that home and bake their bread and eat it. So that was really fun. We had our annual Winterfest event. They decorate cookies and have crafts and activities and things. Our visit with Santa. Mr. Lashley at Madison South loves being Santa for us, so that has worked out very well. He always asks me, hey, I haven't heard about that yet, so that's always fun too. And then we have some other Christmas activities that we did. We had a visit from Santa again, Mr. Lashley, and Mrs. Claus, which was Mrs. Cox. She's always willing to be Mrs. Claus for me. And Mr. Brown, one of our custodians, was my elf this year. So that's a fun last day before our Christmas break. So we have hot chocolate and popcorn, and we wear our pajamas. So we have some things coming up. We're starting to look toward transitions. That's a big part of the second half of the year for us, getting all the testing and things done to set kids up for kindergarten. We'll get our licensing visit here anytime from our state people. We're going to do a new event again too in February called Preschool Fun with Food. So we're going to do, I don't know what yet. We're in the planning process of that still. We'll have our annual preschool prom. It's been a big hit, so we always look forward to that. Another field trip to the bird sanctuary. And then we end the year with a trip to the elementary schools. I like to give our students going into kindergarten an opportunity to kind of get a feel for what the schools look like. It'll be a little different this year since we'll have one less school to go to, so we'll have to plan accordingly, but just to give them an idea of what the building looks like, who the principal is, see the teachers, that sort of thing. So that's been a pretty successful thing as well. And then we end the year with graduation. So, any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Lindy, the director at the Early Learning Center. Our current enrollment is 105 students at the center. That's infants through pre-K. We have 63 latchkey students right now and about 50 Rams Club students. Rams Club is our school-age childcare program. It's open when there are snow days or holidays that the schools are closed and we're open, and then in the summer. All of our infant through pre-K spots are filled right now, and we do have quite an extensive waiting list, but we do have several latchkey spots available at all of the schools. If you have any family members or yourself might be interested in care, give us a call. We are Step Up to Quality rated at all of our sites. This year we just got Mifflin Gold Star rated for Step Up to Quality. And then we do have the Ohio Promise designation at the main site at the center. And that is for inclusive childcare. In Richland County, there's only one other center that has that designation, and they're a Type B family home, so we're pretty proud of that. We've had our annual family events recently. We had our harvest party, parade, our Thanksgiving luncheon, and our holiday festival. There is a big focus on family engagement and childcare, so we have added 3 more family events. We included an ice cream social, donuts with grown-ups, and grubbin' with grands. Those have all been very successful. Our holiday festival this year was really busy. Last year we had some bad weather, so we weren't sure how it would go this year, but it was actually a really good turnout this year. This year we've been focusing a lot on technology and updating a lot of our programs and systems we use. We recently transitioned to Brightwheel, and Brightwheel is provided by Department of Children and Youth for us. We are, this is our first year we switched our enrollment over to Brightwheel, and we are now fully using that billing system as well. We use it for communication, and we are hoping to continue to learn how to use more features on that app. We also this year are using Smart Teach and the ecosystem by Teaching Strategies. We use Creative Curriculum as our curriculum, and then Teaching Strategies is the assessment piece that goes along with that. This year that is all digital, so we are doing online lesson plans, and the teachers are learning how to use the assessment piece online as well. It makes planning more efficient for the teachers because it is all linked together, and when they go in and do their lesson plans, they can then do their objectives for their goals right in the program for them. We're really excited about that. And then the next new thing that we are getting ready to do, I probably will roll that out by the end of this month, is it's called KinderSmart. It's not a new program, it would just be new to us. For our families who receive publicly funded childcare, it is an app that they can download on their phone. They can use the QR code then to sign their children in and out. of childcare, and that will add more convenience for our families. Currently, we use tablets at each of our sites, and sometimes connecting to the Wi-Fi with all the security on their end and our end can be a little challenging, so I think this will be easier for families. We are doing some more building updates, so I had to include that. I looked it up, and 2020 was when Madison reacquired the building. Prior to that, I was at the program that was at that building, so I know it's been about probably 10 years since any painting updates have been done. So we have been working on repainting the cafeteria, and then we are going to be repainting the gym. We're painting doors, we're getting the floors stripped and waxed, and we are excited about that. The staff have been very helpful working on that, and we are going to be representing Ram Pride. We're changing to Madison colors, so we're happy about that too. We're ready to be rid of the blue and yellow. And lastly, I just wanted to just take a moment to recognize that's most of our staff. It's hard to get everyone in the same place at the same time, but I just want to recognize the hard work of all of the assistant teachers, lead teachers, subs, our custodian, cafeteria and office workers, because they are really what help our program run every day. We couldn't do it without them and all of their hard work and dedication. And look at them, they look cute. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about Safety Town. You want to do that? That's okay. Okay, so registration for Safety Town this year will be April 6th through May 8th, and the program dates will be June 1st through 12th. We have AM and PM sessions available. Total, we serve about 60 children, and we actually had, I think, about 63 sign up last year, and then a couple fell off, but we were fully enrolled. The program is free to attend. It's for students that are entering kindergarten. Sometimes that is a little confusing. We did make sure we put that on the registration paperwork this year, so there won't be any confusion there. They talk about car seat safety, seatbelt safety, medication safety, 911, first aid, fire safety, water safety, and then we always do a fun little fingerprint activity that Jen and I do with the kids. They love that, and it's messy. So.
And then these are some of the guest speakers that we've had in the past. The sheriff's office always comes. That's one of our highlighted days that the kids love. Casey comes. We've had ladies from the Red Cross come and talk about emergency preparedness. The fire department, Captain Lambert and his crew are always very gracious and willing. Another highlight is the bus day with Mr. Yost. They love getting on the bus. Some of them have never been on the bus, so that's part of the idea of learning how to cross the street and all that too, and Mike does a great job with that. And then Dr. Judy Villard, she is from OSU Extension and one of her areas of expertise is safety education. So she has come for the last few years too. That's a list of our donors. They are the backbone of how we can even do this program. We've had several of those donors that have donated to us all 4 years that we've brought the program back. So we're very, very gracious for that. And we will be sending those letters here soon. So hopefully they'll donate some more. So I think that's it, right? All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Holy cow.
But they'll be late.
Next up is item I, donations. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. Well, go ahead.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Melissa Walker,
4.
Mrs. Cotterman,
4.
Mr. Porter,
4.
Mr. Mosier,
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4. And then item J, treasurer's business. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, so, first thing, the monthly financial report. You know, I've gave it to you, and I have a narrative written, and then when I emailed it to you, I summarized the narrative, so I'm not gonna really go into it too much. Basically, December, we really, other than some ancillary items like fees and interest and some abatement payments, what we really get money from is the state foundation. And I don't know if you remember last month me telling you that state sort of took back some of their science of reading money. Had they not taken that back, we would have actually, in December, brought in more money than we did the year before, which would have been good. But as it stands, we're pretty close. I mean, within $3,500. So our revenues were lower in FY25 than they were in FY26 than they were in FY25, but they were close. Expenditures, they're down and everything, but salaries and benefits, and as Mr. Peterson talked, we're doing what we have to decrease them in salaries, and the consortium, joining the consortium, which you guys voted on, will hopefully get the benefits in line. What I really want to talk more about, rather than what's in this report, because, we are on track, but there's 4 House bills that recently got passed that have to do with education, and I want to share those with you, and I want to talk to you about how or even if they're going to affect the district and what they are. The first House bill I want to talk about is House Bill 309, and 309 allows the county budget commissioners to alter the levy rates. Most likely this will not affect us. This was designed for districts that have excessive millage rates, and this specific House bill gave the Budget Commission the ability to lower them if they were excessive. Obviously, we're not excessive, because if we were, we wouldn't be hurting for money. So it could affect us, but most likely won't, because we are not excessive. The second one that I'm going to talk about that definitely will affect us is House Bill 355. And House Bill 355 limits the growth on inside millage. Our inside millage is 4.4 mils. And just to refresh your memory, inside millage is that 10 mils that's not voted on. Okay? Of that 10, 4.4 is ours. Prior to House Bill 335, we would get growth on the valuation increase, whether it was 20%, 30%, whatever that valuation increase was, we got the growth prior to this bill on that inside millage. After this bill, that caps the growth to the rate of inflation. So if the rate of inflation is 5%, we're going to get 5% growth on the inside millage. If the rate of inflation is 10%, we'll get 10% growth on the inside millage. So it caps it. House Bill 355 definitely will impact us. So 309 could, probably won't. House Bill 355 will, or definitely. And the next two, I'll just go to the next. House Bill 129 does not affect us and will not affect us. And what that is that has to do with counting fixed sum levies like emergency levies, substitute levies. Prior to this bill, school districts could do those levies and they didn't count against the 20 mil floor. So for example, I'll just take Lexington for example. Lexington is at the 20 mil floor. We are not. We were not. They were at the 20 mil floor, but they had fixed sum levies. They had either emergency or substitute levies. Well, those did not count towards the 20 mil floor. Well, House Bill 129 makes them count. Well, since we were not at the 20 mil floor and we did not have any of those, that does not affect us at all. And it won't affect us because we aren't going for any of those. The next one that doesn't affect us now, but could potentially in the future, is House Bill 186. So House Bill 186 is a limitation. It caps the inflationary growth on districts that are at the 20 mil floor. So prior to this bill, if you were at the 20 mil floor and the assessed valuation went up 30%, you were still at the 20 mil floor and you got a 30% growth in your assessed valuation. House Bill 186 caps that growth to inflationary. So it doesn't, it's not what the assessed valuation goes up. Now, the reason it does not affect us now is because we are not and have not been at the 20 mil floor. The reason it could potentially affect us is if the levy that we're going for in May passes and we do away with the 7.5 mil levy that was passed in 2023, at that point in time, then we will be at the 20 mil floor. Now, the bad side is it caps the growth. The good side is we haven't received any increase anyway. So for us to receive inflationary increases better than what we have been doing, because we are not at the 20 mil floor, so as rates go up, our millage goes down. So right now, 309 does not affect us but could. 186 does not affect us but potentially could in the future. 355 does affect us, that's the inside growth, and 129 doesn't because we don't have any fixed sum levies. So before I move on to 2 through, I think 6, I just glossed over this monthly financial report that I sent you, and I kind of sped through these 4 House bills that deal with school funding, and I wanted to tell you what they were and how they affected us. Do you guys have questions? Do you want me to go over any of this, talk about any of this? You want to?
I appreciate the information.
You did a good job.
Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is number 2, the FY27. We're in FY26 now. The FY27 tax budget. That is simply, I have to put it together a budget, how much should have at the end of this year, how much revenue we're supposed to get next year. I send that tax, I prepare it, I gave it to you guys to look at. We vote on it. This goes to the Budget Commission, which has to do with that House Bill 309, who has the power to set the rates for next year. They look at it, they set the amounts and rates, and then you then vote on it. After they set the amounts and rates, you vote to accept them. Really, technically, what this is for is to set the appropriations, at the beginning of the year, next year, so they can say, here's how much they have to spend. So when we set our budgets, there's revenues, there's expenditures. This pretty much does the revenues. So, and the expenditures, I don't know if you recall, we always set them at, and we do the temporary, which is at 50% of this year's, and then we always pass the permanent. This one does the revenues, okay? The next thing, number 3, approval of that requisition for standard plumbing and heating. Mr. Neron talked about the boilers. We did share with you last week that it was kind of an emergency. We had to get it done. I was quite disappointed, as I'm sure he was, when we found out that even though we did it as quickly as we could, they kind of sold the one boiler out from under us, which makes me upset. But regardless, it was not something that we could have waited on because, this is winter. If it was summer, yeah, we could have, but, January, December, and a boiler goes down, it's kind of an emergency. Number 4 is the resolution to sell the property. If you recall, last month you voted on the resolution to get an auctioneer. We had the auctioneer. The auctioneer, myself, Mr. Peterson, sat down, went through this resolution, then we gave it to our attorney to make sure that everything was correct. So this is the resolution to actually sell the property at auction at the end of February. Okay, and then what will happen is we'll have to meet then the next day to either accept or not accept whatever the highest bid is. So that's what number 4 is the resolution to actually sell the Ashland Road property. Resolution number 5, this is a redo. So here's what happened. I'll take the blame for it. We gave you the resolution of necessity last month to vote on. And what we did is we took the resolution of necessity, and even in the beginning of December, before I gave that resolution, I contacted the Ohio Department of Taxation, and they gave me the amount. So I put that amount in, and we used the same pretty much language as we did in the summer. Well, September 30th, Ohio Department of Taxation and Ohio Revised Code changed slightly, so the Ohio Department of Taxation wouldn't accept our resolution of necessity with the old Ohio Revised Code. So we sent this one to our legal counsel, and honestly, I didn't send it to legal counsel last time because I was trying to save money, because he charges by the hour, and if I can do it I didn't figure 6 months, I didn't think it would change, but it did. And the irony is, the amount changed from the first week in December, which I cut from the Iowa Department of Taxation, to this time. Just a little brief story. Mr. Peterson came in my office. I was sick, and the next day I came in, I was still sick, but I specifically wanted to get in because I wanted to email the Department of Taxation because I had this sneaky feeling that, you know what, I'm just going to double check to make sure they didn't change the rates on it. And within that 3-week period, they did.
Wow.
So that's why this has got a new amount and a new Ohio Revised Code section. So that's why you have to revote on number 5. And because the amount changed, the resolution number 6 to cease collection on that 7.5 mil, remember, we voted on that? Well, the amount changed because the Ohio Department of Taxation changed it, so that means this resolution had to change. So we had to re-put that one on the ballot. So 5 and 6 you voted on last month. We're voting on again this month with the new updated numbers and a new updated Ohio Revised Code. And number, I think, is that it? Is there one more?
Yeah.
That's it. That was a lot. Do you guys have any questions on anything that it discussed or went over? Okay, Mr. Mosier.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mr. Porter.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4. Okay, next up is K, our strategic plan, culture and climate.
It's cold outside.
That's the climate.
Good evening. I'm Missy Wigton, and I'm here with Andrew Divletson, and we are the co-chairs of the Strategic Planning, Culture, and Climate. We have a great team, and overall together, our overall goal is to continue to foster a culture that promotes a safe, positive, and supportive environment. So we're just going to kind of go through some of the highlights of what we're doing to make those things happen. So we'll start first.
All right. So our first goal has a lot to do with PBIS, and that's something that's been embedded in our action plan for the last few years. Since I've been here, it has been part of the action plan. PBIS is something that's been around for a while, so this is something that we feel is a strong aspect of Madison local schools. Key highlights with the action steps would be ensuring that the PBIS matrix is visible and referenced throughout our school buildings. That has to do with rules, expectations, that kind of thing. Backing up a second, for people that aren't familiar with the lingo, PBIS is Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports. It has roots in the special education world, but it's now like a mainstreamed system or framework, if you will. Another thing that we're doing currently, and this is something that we started last year, I believe, is we're starting to track data at the district level for not only office discipline referrals, but how much are we acknowledging students. We're also making sure that expectations are being taught that are in line with the matrices that are being posted in the buildings. I mentioned the data collection just a bit ago. And then looking ahead to this year, we have plans to be sending out culture and climate surveys from each building to parents and families. Evidence of success along with this, we want to see an increase in numbers of students attending our positive recognition events, and we want to see a decrease in the number of office referrals that we're seeing in each building. Alrighty. Another one of our components of our action plan is in the Madison community, we continue to foster a culture that promotes a safe, positive, and supportive environment. The key strategy behind that is, and I've heard it mentioned a couple times tonight, which is awesome that it's here. We want to increase family engagement across the district. We met the other day just to check in on how these things are going, and it's amazing to see that that's kind of where our headspace is lately. I know at my building, the high school, we've established a family engagement team. That started over a year ago, but it's now kind of grown to include district administrators, community members, that kind of thing. So an example of the work of that team has to do with our action steps. So it says here, advertise district events through the Madison app, webpage, etc. And so through our family engagement team, one of our community partners literally went through every single web page in the district with a fine-tooth comb, and just made notes about things that we could improve on. For example, we had like outdated forms from 2013 that just got missed. Of course, one of our most precious resources is money, but besides that, what is it? It's time. And so having someone that was willing to give up her time to help us out with that, it really meant a lot, and we got better because of it. Another thing that has to do with this part of the action plan has to do with looking at family engagement as not just bringing people into the buildings, which is very important, but it's also meeting them where they are at, and sometimes even literally meeting them where they're at. And so we made a note that home visits are going to be a kind of a next phase of our initiative with family engagement. We've seen that at the high school, and Bill Roth from a special education lens has come along and like come to homes and, you know, got paperwork signed or met with parents, you know, right there on their front porch and talked about, hey, we'd like to see you come out to the school, we've missed you, that kind of thing. So I'm really excited about the work that we're doing there. Evidence of success there, we want to see an increase in family engagement throughout the district, and that is more than just sports events. It's a lot of the things that Lindy and Jen Eckenweiler were talking about earlier, you know, bringing parents out for the fun things that we're doing beyond sports. Evaluation process, we talked about attendance already, but we want to continue to just get feedback from community and families about how we're doing, so we can respond to that. And going back to the example of web page, you know, improvement, that was one of the pieces of feedback that we got last year when we surveyed parents. Like, we are kind of having a hard time finding things. We said, okay, well, let's get better with that. I think that's all for me now. I'll pass it back to Missy.
Okay, so I'm just going to kind of close up with our last strategy, which was educating students regarding the danger of threat, social media responsibility, and the consequences of such acts. So one way that we found that was helpful for each of our buildings is to partner up with Casey, and without even realizing it, I realized our preschoolers are also partnering up with Casey. So they've been an amazing resource for us. So in addition to what our counselors are already doing and our staff's already doing, and some other outside resources, Casey's been a big help. So I'm just going to kind of highlight some of the things that where they have done some efforts with us. So first off, they come to our elementary groups and they do like a lunch bunch, and they kind of work their way through with students on different various topics, whatever the monthly topic is. They vary with bullying, emotional regulation, things like that, all mental and social, emotional health. So they also partner up in our elementary buildings K through 4, so they go into each and every classroom and kind of follow up with just appropriate lessons under the same kind of format, whether it's bullying, social emotional health, avoiding risky behavior, so geared developmentally to that age group. At the middle school, they're also doing the middle school classroom lessons, so they're getting into all of the classrooms at those levels as well. At the high school and middle school, they're partnering up with the high-risk students. So students may be given an opportunity to finish a Casey program to minimize an out-of-school suspension if a poor decision was made, so that they can turn that into a learning opportunity to hopefully prevent a similar act in the future. They also provide resources for our parents that we hand out, make available to our parents during parent-teacher conference night. And in the future, as our team, we want to continue to get that information pushed out to parents. So we'd like to use the Rooms app to just continue to provide parent education of what they can do to keep their child safe while on the internet or using apps or whatever that might look like. So we'll know that we're successful when our overall feel of the community is safe and we don't see any major threats, or hopefully we'll see a social media responsibility look more positive for our students as well. So that's what we're doing on our team.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is item L, matters related to personnel. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
For.
Mr. Mosher?
For.
Mrs. Cotterman?
For.
Mr. Porter? For. Miss Amy Walker?
4. And can I get a motion to move on to item M, superintendent's business? Second? I'll second. And discussion.
Just briefly comment on numbers 3 and 4. As I shared with you at last month's meeting, we'll be modifying or proposing to modify the school calendar so that the last day for elementary school students will be Friday, May 22nd, and there will be no early dismissal for them that day. We just couldn't make the busing work to do an early dismissal for elementary, but not an early dismissal for middle and high school. And then number 4 goes right along with that, with the Summer Rams Club at the Early Childhood Learning Center. They'll be starting that earlier than they anticipated because of the students ending the school year, the elementary students ending the school year earlier. And that's it.
And then item N, do we have any visitors' comments?
I have to vote on.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Mosher?
For.
Mrs. Cotterman?
For.
Mr. Porter?
For.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Miss Amy Walker?
4. Now, do we have any visitors' comments? Okay, item O, president's business. Next regular Board of Education meeting, then I believe is February 18th,
Right.
6 p.m. And can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Who did? She, Ms. Cotterman? Mr. Mosher?
For.
Mrs. Cotterman?
4.
Mr. Porter? For. Miss Melissa Walker?
4.
Miss Amy Walker?
4.